The bell is tolling.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Open man is Uzama. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
2 by 2. Move.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Carlos Dunlap, the defensive end, the one to bring him down.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the
rush coming, and he's taken down. Vontaze Burfict leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is that now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clear.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a 1st down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So Dalton now steps away to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
2nd down, Dalton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The connection since 2011, Dalton to Green for a Bengal 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall?
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. To throw here, Dalton looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Jesse Bates made the tackle. From his safety spot. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open. On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Bernard. They find some open field here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 more yards there and another first down. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now back to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On the counter, here's Bell. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Roethlisberger will throw. This is Bell on the dump off. Another nice move. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
Set. Who's 30? Right set.
To throw again is Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Roethlisberger now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Ben to throw again. This one complete right side to McDonald. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
This quarterback now 5 of 6, very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first down. He'll look to throw. Caught Eifert over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 319. 319. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half.
He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Back in the 1st quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the 1st quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man. It's Eifert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
They'll look to throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Vontaze perfect. Tough to handle on. That blitz, he gets him for a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. Roethlisberger now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Gone after the sack. He's still down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. And he finds McDonald. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Taylor. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Goes underneath for Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now, here come the Bengals. They've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A good pick up there at 20 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football, so what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you?
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4.
Here we go. Detroit!
Back to throw now on first down. Woods the target, and he has it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
They'll drop to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. T.J. Watt in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a one-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? Might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The throw by Taylor there, knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Taylor now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It's a linebacker, Manti Te'o, on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And that is not a sight they want to see. Joe Mixon very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look. We'll step aside. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
First down.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ross. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They're going to look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ross. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot! Watch him now, Barney!
Mixon with a first down carry. And only able to muster a couple, down to about the 27.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
All right, now, lucky 56!
They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. And some room to roam now. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage.
Gone!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Cameron Hayward in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is they're all 30 yards downfield after that play.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll look to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Back to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And now time for one final play that has to be obviously in the end zone.
I can't wait to see what they call, but you want to get it to your best player. Sometimes you have to do it by formation. Move everyone to one side, and maybe he gets a one-on-one isolated on the backside.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Back to throw. And it's caught. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Taylor now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Pittsburgh, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner. And next time right here, it's the NFL on EA Sports.
I got so much beef, I could barely sleep. Paranoia got me losing on my Z's all day. Good Lord, mama praying on the knees all day. If you still frontin'.